Hello, welcome back to a what is today? Welcome back to a critical live stream or what? I don't know how I start these things. My mind just blanked. How weird is that? I was so stoked, so ready. The camera turned on, and I was like, "What do I do?" My voice is a little lower today. I think I'm a little under the weather. Hopefully, that's not too much of a distraction. But it is something that's happening. And it's kind of aggravating. Yeah, a little congested. Yeah, 100%. But I feel fine. That's the thing. I can feel it in my chest. Something's coming up. I won't be fine tomorrow. That's the kind of gist I'm getting here. Who are you again? Do I need to create a persona for low voice Brian? Clear out the sinuses are actually very clear. That's the thing, like I can breathe just fine. I can hear or I can feel something in the chest. It's coming. We're torturing Brian with black metal. I don't know if there's any actual black metal in the stream. Like you had a glass of whiskey yesterday. Geez, that's good. All right. Charm Tiger is pausing the album reaction for this, so it better be good. No promises, man. This ticket is sold with no expectations. Going for the Barry White sounds. I wonder how low I could go. Right around there. That's whoa. And just get that resonant chesty voice. Voice is still hurting from Dance Gavin Dance on Tuesday? Dude, that's awesome. I was practicing my vocals yesterday. Dude. That'd be so funny. I'll come out in like a week, 2 weeks, and I just have like these killer black metal vocals, and you're like, yeah, that's why. That's why on that Sunday. he threw his voice out practicing. No, that is definitely not what happens. But could you imagine? Ah, geez. All right, we only have 9 songs set up for today. That's kind of interesting. We've been running 11 every week, so I don't know where that's going to put us. If Brian's practicing his harshes, he's not doing them right. That's actually very true. If this would have been because I was practicing harshes, this is a terrible result. There's actually quite a few short ones today. Yeah, in the 2 to 3 minute range. So I don't know. We may end up closing out early. Y'all may end up getting me on a tangent and we run 30 minutes over. You know, it's a live stream. You never know what's going to happen. We're going to kick this off though. I hope this works. All right, cool. Did that work? Yeah, that worked. Ah, geez. I set all this up yesterday, which is unusual for me. So I'm kind of like, I vaguely remember what I did rather than having just set up all of the text. And so I'm kind of hoping that past me did things right. Unless you want your voice to be eternally harsh. Could you imagine someone just absolutely destroys their voice so that they can sound robotic and crackly all the time, like purposefully doing that? I'm sure there's people who have done it. All right. Weeping Sores. What a title, or what a band name. Empty Vessel Hymn. You know, though, in the DSBM area, it really wouldn't surprise me if that was like part of the allure. Isn't just the damage in the music, but the long-term damage. So you can have this cool story to tell. Yeah, my voice sounds like this because I was this crazy killer vocalist back in the day. Is there really a way to do it without killing your throat? Yeah, 100%. Any of the harshes. There's a safe way to do all of them. And honestly, black metal is just Fry Scream, just pushed way up really nasally from what I understand. So, I mean, the technique is no different than most of the other Fry Screaming, give or take. So yeah, I'd imagine that was rather safe. Alright, we got context on this. Comes from Synapse. Recently released Melancholy Death Doom featuring members of Pyrion, Scarcity. Scarcity? I read that as Scar City, but it's scarcity. That's a real word. And Seputus. Seputus? I don't know how to pronounce that one either. My voice goes, and all of a sudden I can't read words. Wait, is it Scar City or is it Scarcity? Scar City? Dude, that's post-hardcore all over. That is 100%. You think both are correct? I mean, it might be one of those situations where it's, the wordplay is the point of the band. But I would wager it's probably pronounced scarcity. Veiled. Dude, that's hilarious. Arc City? Scar City is for the Brits. Jeez. I don't know what a skark is, but it's a tiny one. Shark Kitty. Now, see, that's a cool band name. But the band has to be like a little fun. They can be like super aggressive, but it has to be in a fun, playful way. Escar City? What is an Escar? Is that like escargot? You can't fit a mat into any of this. Such a shame. Such a shame. The Model 2? Is that what they were called, was S-Cars? The Model S. Interesting. This is one way to extend the stream. Yeah, we'll just talk about words all day. I mean, it's not like we haven't done that in the past. You missed the T in escargot? Yep, that'll get you every time. All right, let's see what's going on with Weeping Sores. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the guitar tone, but I like that drum pattern. I feel like I could attempt these vocals today. That is low. Golly. There's some cool bass work, but the production's just like super muddy on it too. Huh. I'm curious about this. None of the other songs would have been short enough for the for the live stream selection. That's funny. I was like, 5 tracks, that's an EP right there. Yeah, the other ones are like 8, 9, 14 minutes long. I might have to check this out. Musically, I think it's sound. There's a lot of cool ideas in here. I love the drum work. The bass work sounds neat. The guitar stuff is interesting. The atmospheric stuff is interesting. The vocal layering between the two vocalists, I think, works rather well. It has a nice sense of movement and melody to it. Good atmosphere. But then there's the production of it all, and I don't know. Brian checking out something with growls. Yeah, I know it's pretty rare. Um, something about it works though. So I don't know. I'm interested in it. It's got good melody, and I think that's catching me. But the production's so strange, and I don't know what to think of it. It's very thin for metal. The drumming, I don't know. And I think it was piece that landed on the snare sounding like a drum line, and it does. And I don't know if that's working for me for some reason, but it's very strange. I can't place the production, but it's okay on the drums. It feels thin, but it feels right. The bass is too muddy though. The guitar is, I don't know, it feels out of tune a lot of the time. It's kind of sharp and scratchy. Something about it. Everything's just kind of produced a little off from what I would want, but it gives it an allure. I'm intrigued by it. Ooh, there is a cello on 3 of the other tracks, some keyboards on 4 of the 5, a banjo on track 2, and some additional guitar work on track 3. So that's, that's something to look forward to. The guitar was sharp on the main first line, but you loved it. It's very, it's an abrasive tone for me. It's especially when the guitar came back in after the first chorus and we had that isolated guitar line just like the beginning. It was a very sharp reminder of what the guitar tone sounds like in isolation. Hey, Arconji, welcome. I don't know. I'm intrigued by it. And it's a short enough album that I think I need to give it a listen, especially since it came out this year. So I'll go ahead and throw that on my list. Their last album was 2019, so they've been away from this for a while, but it is a side project, it looks like. The 2 people that are, oh, there were 3 people in it. They had a dedicated violinist and second vocalist on their 2019 album. Hmm. Because for this one, vocalist is, yeah, it's just the main vocalist. So the highs, the fries, and the growls are the same vocalist, it looks like. Yeah, dude, this came out in May, so this is brand new. I'm interested in that 2019 album now. What about their debut? Who was on that? Oh, they had their violinist, but they weren't providing vocals yet. I don't know. I may end up just checking out all 3. It depends. I think I'm intrigued by the lineup on the first and second albums. Yeah, go ahead and submit one. We only have 9 for today anyway, so. Otherwise, there's still next week, which I don't know what I'm gonna do, but if there's any late submissions, I'll look at them then too. Yeah, dude, this is wild. And I'm kind of looking forward to the doomier aspects too. The death in that was interesting. It was more mellow death than anything, which is it's gonna grab me. More so than regular death, anyways. But yeah, that's an interesting way to start the day off. Got my brain rolling already. So, all right. Next up, we have some Ektomorf. I think that's how that's pronounced. Stay Away, off of the Redemption album. Comes from Spiro with no context. Let's dive into this. Expecting more than Doom with a member from Piron. Yeah. All right. Let's kick it. You know, we haven't had a lot of metal this month. Today's making up for all of it.
Woke up this morning and I feel like shit. It's
Ooh.
all because of you, so thanks for that. Yesterday night, I saw your face. Yeah, you get the right to live, and it's better that way. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face. Stay away. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face. Stay away. Oh man. You have your way to fuck me up. You drive me insane, you make me numb. I can't do nothing, what the fuck do you want? I changed my whole life, but it wasn't enough. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face, stay away. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face, stay away.
It just needs a hug.
This was your chance, but you missed it. So, fuck you. That was it, now it's really the end. It's hard to believe that there's nothing left.
I'm looking at the lyrics here, and it's kind of funny.
No love, no hate, no fucking regret. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face. Stay away. So fuck you, go away. Never come back again. I don't wanna see your face. Stay away.
Hit that halftime hard.
Stay away.
Yeah, I mean, when did this come out? 2010? That actually feels a bit late for this sounds. It definitely has like, you know, a 16-year-old who their parents are away, they're recording in their garage with their friends, and they're finally saying all the things they can't say with their parents around. It has that vibe to the lyrics that it's kind of comical and just how juvenile it is. I don't think they really intend for that, but at least that's how I read it. So I kind of get some comedy out of this that I don't think is intentional. But dude, I completely agree about the music. This is solid. The guitar tone sounds great. It's got that crispiness to it that works. They kind of use this like movement on like a phaser or something to kind of like bring the sound up and then to bring it down and hollow it out and then like point it back again and then, you know, make it wide. It's just a great tone that they have and great effects on it. It's tons of energy. Simple track, very aggressive, in your face, simple riffs, but it works. And the thing is too, is that I'd probably rate this in the nu metal area, and I grew up in nu metal. I'm such a sucker for the sounds. What are you guys doing in there? Chat has me cracking up right here. Jeez. Feel more Pantera than nu metal? That's interesting. Because to me, this is I can't think of any specific band that I would relate the sound to. Korn maybe without the interesting textures that the guitar tends to contribute to the sounds. A little bit of something like non-point. The rapping bit, I don't think so. I mean, maybe that harsh spoken word delivery. But to me, the music's just new metal right there. New core? I could go with that. New metalcore? New metalcore? Has anybody ever done that? I'd be down for that. I could go with that too. Yeah, this is definitely groovy. Groove metal it's something that I don't think I've had enough exposure to, because if something's groovy, that's a descriptor for me. It's not like a genre, but I know groove metal is a genre, but it's not one of those things that I can yeah, that's groove metal. You just feel it. But yeah, this was super groovy, and to me, it felt very new metal. I'd go with new groove on this. New pop? Dude, I want to hear that. Give me some of this poppy metal stuff that we're getting today, but merge it with new metal. Where does that take us? Give me anything merged with like 2000s new metal. Where does that take me? I want to know. I feel like new metal is such a malleable sound because it's so minimal, right? Everybody just does the one thing usually. It's a straightforward riff and then you yell over it. You got new metal right here. I feel like you could take that in so many different directions just because it's not really defined in and of itself. Let's just start mixing that sound with every genre out there. Give me new country. What's that sound like? I'm gonna go looking for genres this week. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find new stuff. That's what I'm gonna see if I can find a bunch of new weird sounds for us to explore next week. Since we don't have any requests for it because it's a fifth Sunday. Why are there 5 Sundays this month? I don't know. Metal Billy? Is that what is that? Why can't I think of a genre you're mashing up there? The news stream. Yeah, dude, I'm down for this. It doesn't even necessarily need to be new metal adjacent. I just want to find new sounds for next week. Rockabilly, that's it. I couldn't think of what it was. Have you seen the guy who doesn't want to be genre phobic? What is that? Don't look up drone metal? Oh, I've been exposed to drone metal. I think the longest song we've checked out in the drone genre was 30 minutes. And that was Golden Faceted by Earth 2. So yeah, I've been exposed to drone metal. Dude, it was 30 minutes of guitar feedback and some other stuff, but most of it was just feedback. It was an interesting experience. If you want to experience that, I did do a reaction to it. You're welcome to go check that out. uh You'll link it in Discord. He's not trying to be genre phobic, so he spins a wheel for random genres and spends the day listening to it. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I can get behind that. All right. Arkonji, I got your request. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. Ooh, we got some Elden Ring ahead of us. Very cool. I got to figure out context because I think yours is going to be too long for one page, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. How can you fit all the genres on a wheel? Umbrella genres, right? Pop, hip hop, rock, metal, country. Jazz, classical. Ooh, that's only looking at Western music though. Oh, so it's rotating. When he listens to one, it comes out and gets replaced. That's pretty cool. We're talking about wheels here, Brian. Don't bring up umbrellas. Geez, it's good. That made my morning. All right. What is next here? Cephalic Carnage? I don't know. That's another band name right there. Also, this album art, what is going on with that? We're going to listen to the track Lucid Interval, which is just also what? Words are not this band. Nope, not liking them. Jason, tech death plus grind plus drugs that inspired the album. Jeez. All right, well, tech death would be interesting. A 4-minute grind song, no, that's kind of long, isn't it? We're getting into a grind epic here. A very metal stream today, for sure. All right, let's kick this one, see what's going on. Nice cymbal work. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun metal. Wait, this is O2? That's crazy. The metric mod on that left guitar is so good. Oh, bringing in some core influence. Well, for a brief moment, anyways. Jeez, this is so good.
In national news, a frightening radical group from Colorado is making its way across America.
What? Okay, so I will not be exploring more of this, but I had such a good time with this one listen. It is ridiculous. I think that's the only word I have for it. Yeah, right? I don't think there's a single riff I heard in this track where if someone had played that for me, I'd been like, yeah, dude, that needs to go in a song. Like everything in here is, it's just pushed to 11 on the ridiculous scale, and somehow they made a song out of it that worked. I don't understand it. The vocals get almost to the point of parody at times with some of those lows. The metric mod is stupid in some places, but so fun. The guitar work is wild consistently. The drum sounds, the snare in particular is bonkers. I think someone related it to smashing a trash can lid, and yeah, I can get behind that description, but it works. That's the crazy thing. Like, I had so much fun listening to this. It's not something I'd want a full album of. At any point in my life would I say that I want, well, this album's an hour long. I certainly don't want that. That is too much. But for 4 minutes, dude, this was a blast. I don't know, man. That's just, I kind of want to know what the lyrics were. Do I have, yeah, Spotify has lyrics for this. Yeah, I don't know. That it's kind of straightforward, but also kind of over the top. I kind of like a lot of the composition in this. Like, you could take it seriously, but also it's like, dude, this is ridiculous. And the lyrics are kind of in that same area. Never look up the lyrics. Yeah, great for the mixtape format. This is a song that I would put on a mixtape. And the funny thing is, I would definitely slot it between tracks that are nothing like it. It'd be like that one crazy track on the album. Put it on for a friend when you're driving. All the songs are pretty chill. And then this comes up. Ah, jeez. But yeah, it's listed as Death Grind, which I didn't know was a thing. That's kind of cool. I don't know. There's so many twists and turns on this. I don't know where it was taking me. I enjoyed it though. What a wild trip. Now, I don't know how to pronounce any of this, so I'm just gonna leave it up there. I don't want to mispronounce any of those 3 words. This one comes from the Youth Worship Explosion. Since I'll be doing my What Now is yearly pilgrimage to Vietnam, let's go with some Vietnamese indie folk. That's pretty cool. We don't get any of that on this channel. Good luck with the pronunciation. Yeah, I'm just gonna avoid it. I think that's the safest bet for all of us today. All right, this one is, if I remember correctly, a little dynamic, but the volume should be rather listenable for everyone. Let's dive into it and see what they have in store for us.
Có bao giờ con đến tìm nơi cánh đồng đầy hương gió thơ thần, nơi đất trời vẽ bóng hình yêu dấu. Về lại đây, ở lại đây, chút ít nhiều dấu chỉ là khách lạ đến chơi nhà, là món quà thích lá cà, là tiếng cười bỏ quên tận
Well, this is beautiful so far.
Bao giờ con muốn về lên nóc nhà nghe trăng hát mê mẩn nghe gió ngàn đưa lá cười sao xuyên về lại đây ở lại đây chút ít nhiều dấu chỉ là khái niệm chốn tâm hồn là tiếng gọi phía chân trời là những cuộc sao chơi tận đâu chẳng thấy ai ngồi đây đã từng nghe câu chuyện em bé rời đi khỏi rừng ước mơ gió reo tiếng chuông trời khi mà lưu lo.
Dude, solid production too.
Không ai ngước lên đến khi tôi đen rồi nhưng mà lẻ loi anh sao rơi cho người ta đem buồn khắp nơi sướng ca cho vô loài vì rồi ấm êm trong tâm bài hỏi thời gian đưa đi đến đâu đến bao giờ theo tôi về nhà.
Whoa, dude, that is smooth guitar work. Oh, that nice jazz swung coming back in.
Đến bao giờ con mới về bên cánh cửa màu xanh biếc như ngọc như mỗi lần
Very subtle percussion, but I'm really digging it.
về lại đây ở lại đây chút ít nhiều dấu chỉ là đốm lửa cháy giang dở là mái nhà thiếu khung cửa là giấc mộng đời sau ngủ quên tình giấc đến bao giờ con ngoái đầu quay chiếc thuyền chờ sông núi đơn độc mang nước về gieo đất trồng tha thứ về lại đây ở lại đây chút ít nhiều dấu chỉ là anh ta vẫn đang tàn là kiếp người hết huy hoàng là thánh địa ngàn năm có cây phủ kín ai ngồi đây đã từng nghe câu chuyện em bé rời đi khỏi rừng ước mơ gió reo tiếng chuông trôi khi mà lưu lo sự con người cả một cây không ai ngước lên
I've been trying to figure out what any of these samples are.
anh sao rơi cho người ta đem buồn khắp nơi sướng ca cho vô loài vì sự ấm êm trong thân bài hỏi thời gian đưa đi đến đâu đến bao giờ theo tôi về nhà.
It definitely has a nighttime vibe to it, though. Veiled had mentioned that too. I think it's the twinkling right here that really sells it. I honestly thought that was the end of it. Yeah, I heard the clock. Yeah, I'd definitely call that progressive in a lot of ways. It brings together sort of like an indie rock vibe with some jazziness to it, very light jazziness. Um, I suppose maybe some folk of the area. There's a couple of chordal progressions in there that I couldn't quite place. Um, Electronic music with all of the sampling going on with the drum pad on the keyboard. And it doesn't follow a typical song structure either. Yeah, definitely progressive. What I found interesting was the heavy reverb used on the vocals and how that was normally transitioned into the guitar, taking melody when the vocals weren't, and the guitar having this super smooth, no reverb at all tone to it. And hearing the contrast between those two, I thought was interesting as a sort of conversation going on between the two. Um, the sampling is interesting though. Definitely heard a clock in there. I heard the squeaking of a door. There's the guero that we hear often in that sampling as well. But that also, I mean, it doesn't have to be a guero. It could just be running anything along something ribbed. So, I mean, that's the thing too. Going back to what Veiled had heard, like a knocking or tapping on glass, a wine glass being tapped on the clock. All of these could also be instruments of some sort too. And that's kind of where I was dancing back and forth there is, are they sampling everyday sounds or are these instruments? And honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. They could go either way for a lot of these. I find that really interesting too. You like how the guitar and bass subtly played off of each other? And dude, the bass movement was excellent. Simple, but not standard either. Like you said, it has conversational elements with the guitar and they kind of dance around each other. And I find that to be really interesting. There's some really cool harmonic twists in here too. The rhythm changes at times. Like I said, we kind of get these swung movements at places and that gives it a little bit of energy. Like it's interesting. I don't know that I would necessarily enjoy a whole album of this. I don't know if all of their songs are as slow moving as this one is, but I mean, that goes in the list. I really like the sound they have on this. That's capturing me. Sampling instruments and other items. Yeah, I mean, could definitely go that direction too. And that's only going to make it even more difficult to figure out what's what if you know they're doing both. Yeah, whatever they used, it was an instrument. That's 100% true right there. It's an instrument if you used it for music. Unconventional, maybe, but still an instrument. Yeah, that was really nice. Felt like some sounds were a little too intimate or intrusive. That well, see, that was one thing I commented on too early on in the track. I had mentioned that I really liked the production on it, and it's the sounds starting off distant, kind of coming in closer. It's this variety of placements and distances. Some stuff feels like it's closer to you and more intimate and softer. Others feel like they're spacing out the sound sphere. It's yeah, that definitely sounds like a song that Johnny might have picked for the production qualities on it. The sound is representative of the album, but some are more energetic. Yeah, I'll be checking it out. We got Lowswimmer coming in next. I don't know what that means. That's not a word that means anything to me. Not a lot of context for this one, just some fun hidden Britpop. Ooh, I'm always down for pop. All right. Yeah, no context. Peace gave us a little bit in the comments. Let's dive into this. See what they have in store for us with the song IRL, which I assume is in real life. Oh, snap. I just realized I should have been recording. Can I start recording now? No. I'm not going to accidentally break the stream because I decided to test things live. I like that bass tone. A lot of compression on the vocals, but I think it's kind of working. Oh, work. Yeah, like I was saying, the vocals have a lot of compression to them. It's an interesting choice for clean pop vocals, that's for sure. What a video. His signature sounds, okay. It's gonna be love, it's gonna be right. Gonna make mistakes in real life. It's gonna be the love, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna make you know that you're I love the atmosphere here. I mean, it's just a synth tone, but something about it. Has that synth always been here? The breathing. Jeez. Yeah, so that's a fun track. Interesting production on the vocals, nice drum beat, good groove to it. Catchy melody, too. Very light, laid back, but still kind of dense. And there's something about that synth, man. I didn't even notice it was there until it was isolated in that penultimate section. And then I just noticed it was still in the chorus. It has an unnerving warmth to it. I don't know, something about it. Very tranquil track though, lots of falsetto on here, but like compressed staticky falsetto. It's an interesting choice for a pop song. It certainly gives them a unique sonic characteristic. I think it started to grow on me towards the end, but I don't know if it's something I would necessarily seek out. You like the video more than the song? The video was bonkers, man. I had a blast with it. It is definitely fun, creepy, as Marilyn had mentioned, and yeah, that's a good time. I should analyze the deeper meaning of the video. I was trying to figure something out, but I have no idea. I really wanted to have something to say about it, and it's just wild, man. I don't know. I'm kind of curious more about the person who came up with it rather than what they came up with. It says a lot about that person. It's a bizarre idea to begin with. I don't know. I did like the separating of the two at the beginning, as we only saw the shadows. I thought they did a really good job with selling this idea of having this, a clone being real time separated from the original. That was a really nice effect going on there. Oh, I hadn't thought about that either, but that makes sense too because I don't know when this came out, but it's very in vogue these days. 4 months ago, yeah, for pop artists to create a story with their music videos. Even if the songs aren't connected, the music videos are. So yeah, that actually kind of checks out. Analyze that person then? Yeah, I'm a music critic. Today I'm going to be an armchair psychoanalyst. Let me just dive into that role there. I enjoyed that though. That was a good, I don't know, it fits with this lower energy break that we're in. I don't know if we're heading into metal again though, but we have some actually we do. We have Soen here, which is progressive metal. The track is called Martyrs, and this was actually a response to the week prior's Soen pick. Junie said that they were a bit disappointed during the live stream last time. They weren't a big fan of that song from Soen. They wanted me to check out something else. And I was kind of mid on that track from Soen as well. It was very, very genty. And like I always say, gent is a good spice, not a good style of music. And so that song kind of bounced off of me a little bit. Kind of interested to see where this one takes us. Possibly see a different side of Soen, which there were plenty of you defending them in the comments that day as well, saying that they had other tracks that explored other things. So that's what we're going to hopefully check out right here with the track Martyrs off of their Lotus album. Oh yeah, coming in hard with the melodic riff. That's a funky rhythm right there. Gent comes in two flavors, Meshuggah or spice. Nice bass tone. The masses' voice is silent, lost within our walls. They're waiting for a mistake to provide a fall. Spirit of the water, let the sky fall down on me. Very uplifting. It's like a positive turn. Yeah, Dude, that bass kick, bass guitar snare idea? Yeah, I don't know if it was an organ or just a piano, but there's definitely something in that area playing chords underneath that chorus. Okay, yeah, I can go with an organy sound here.
We are made for dreaming, for wandering the earth.
Gorgeous.
For what we have is all we need. Framed inside a system made to praise the tame. At least you keep our will restrained.
Very interesting listening to the brightness of the organ and his voice against the darkness of the toms. Ooh. Oh, jeez, this is good. This isn't Tool? Oh. Okay, that's how it ends. That's what it is. I was trying to figure out, it's kind of musy there in that bridge in the ending. It is, to me, it's the darkness of the bass versus the brightness of timbre of the vocals. And not a lot of bands pull that off easily. And Muse is definitely one. So yeah. You're not amused. I dug that though. That's good stuff. I love the melodic riffage coming in at the beginning. I love his voice. I'm pretty sure I said that last week too. Just gorgeous stuff. There's still rhythmic elements in here. They're just not the only thing that's going on in the song. And I feel like some of those rhythmic ideas are very cool. I love the heavy snare use in the chorus, particularly at the midpoint, as used as a quasi drum fill to kind of reset the feeling of the song, or reset the feeling of the movement without actually having a full drum fill in there. Really cool snare work going on in there. The bass sounds excellent throughout, a couple places for it to lead. I mean, and it has a poppy catchiness to it. And the dude's voice is just so smooth. Yeah, I'm sold on this. I have a much better reaction to this than the Soen we checked out last time. And that's not to say that this version of Soen is any better than another version, just that this one works better for me. It's more melodically driven rather than rhythmically driven, which is always going to be more my cup of tea. It's nice to hear two sides of them so quickly together, though. I wish there was an easier way to do that. Because, you know, we have our two weaker themes that give us compare and contrast, usually within the same band. And I'm a huge fan of those, but they take up so much time. I mean, that's 10 videos. It's, we could probably do that more often, but we're getting through less themes that way. But I like the idea of comparing music, bands, sounds. Not to say this one was better. This one was better. I would have to listen to more of that vocalist to know. I think I've only heard one Karmakonic song, so I can't think of that vocalist at all. And I used to listen to a lot of Yngwie, but I can't place a vocal sound for that either. I think I mostly listen to his instrumental works. So yeah, I can't. Gorn Edman. I can't comment on that at all. I can't think of what that guy sounds like. But it's cool that you're hearing those similarities, because if this guy, if I enjoyed him as much, probably enjoy Gorn as well. All right. When I was doing the audio check for this, I saw parts of this music video without hearing what the song was, and it was wild. I've been curious about this since yesterday, and I can't wait to get into this. The song is called Witch Doctor from the band Staat. Comes from PL Jogging. This went slightly viral and released a few years back. All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you're going to be compared to a vocalist, that's one to be compared to. All right, let's dive into this. See what's going on with the Staat.
Seems to be the pain. Got all these herbs.
Hey, Mark, glad you could make it.
I'm the little witch
This
with the magic tricks. Mistrust the White House, come and get your fix. It's not about the numbers, what you feel is real. Crystals raise the light to taste of orange peel. Open the mind, change the mind, it's how we achieve. Can't hurt to try, right, is what I believe. Witch doctor, a witch doctor, a witch doctor, a witch doctor.
This is not the music. That is a wild guitar line. So simple, but so sharp too. Okay, why is this kind of catchy? You know what? Yeah, Black MIDI works for this. I definitely call this post-punk. Very modern take on post-punk too. So much rhythmic bounciness at the beginning of the track, and now we're just like one note. Well, that was something. I feel like right when it ended, it was finally building into something interesting, and then it ended. The whole song feels like build-up, though. It doesn't go anywhere. Hope they were well paid for all that running. I was actually trying to figure out if they were definitely not real people. I was trying to figure out if it was AI or handcrafted model movement. Given that they're all completely in sync with each other, I assume that everything's just handcrafted model movement. But you never know these days. You're joining the cult right now. Musically, it's, I don't know. Hand animated CG. Yeah, that's where I'm going to. So, yeah, the beginning was kind of interesting. There's a lot of charismatic elements to the vocals. They have a nice bouncy energy to the rhythmic delivery of the spoken word parts. The compression on the vocals give them some extra, punch. But I don't know, the guitars come in, takes on a very punky feel. We have the percussion and the bass joining in, and I mean it's just very punk there, very simple, directed, kind of aggressive. And then any of that dexterity melodically and rhythmically is removed for just this constant hard-hitting quarter note idea. Single tone, single pitch. I don't know. It felt like it anti-builded. Anti-built? I don't know. In one way, I think production-wise, it feels like it's constant tension, rising, going to go towards someone, but musically, it devolves over time. It gets simpler and doesn't, I don't know. It put me in a strange place mentally, where I was anxious throughout, but excited to see where we went. But around every corner, I felt like I was getting further and further from what I was expecting to build into. It was anticipation and disappointment, but not like a point of disappointment. It was sort of just like a vague feeling of disappointment throughout. I don't know. It's wild. That's why I kind of want to call it post-punk. It's a punky song, 100%, but it's not punk music. It takes punk sounds and does something new and interesting with it. You're calling it alt rock? Interesting. I don't really get much of a rock feel out of it. I kind of want to check out some of the other songs though. I mean, we have Look at Me, which is suggested right here, but the first suggestion in YouTube's recommendation is a song called Kitty Kitty from 6 years ago. Oh, this is from 9 years ago. Dude, I thought this was recent. This thing's almost a decade old. Yeah, I gotta hear more. I don't think this song grabbed me, but the concept behind the band is still intriguing. I think that's where I'm at with it. Next up, we have some MARETU, Magical Doctor. So this is what someone had mentioned earlier. We're going from a witch doctor to a magical doctor. You're talking about it like it's classic rock? Yeah, dude, this is from 2016. It's almost a decade old. It's so long ago. The medical stream. So many doctors today. That's good. Where's my marker? I almost thought it wasn't here. I was going to be very confused where it would have gone. Feel free to check something live right now. We've got time. We really do. We have 3 left and 45 minutes to check them out. We may end up throwing something else on at the end. We'll see where we get. For all I know, I'm going to go on a 30-minute tangent about, I don't know, oranges. I don't know. Sometimes it's just so random. I don't even know how we get there. It's not even like I have a strong opinion about something. I just start talking about it. And like 30 minutes later, just blank out. Geez, where'd that time go? Music industry works on sometimes less than a year is old. Yeah, dude, in the pop world, 12 months can certainly be actually, dude, okay, so sometimes my kid says, that was so last year. And I'm like, last year is not that far away. So yeah, I mean, a year can definitely make something feel a bit dated. A tangentarine. The weird doctor stream. We have had some weird songs today. I have heard of Bad Bunny, increasingly recent. He's been in the music news quite a bit, but I don't think I've ever heard any music from Bad Bunny. I assume it's pop or maybe hip hop adjacent, R&B maybe, but I've never heard anything. Most played on Spotify. Interesting. I wonder if I should do that one of these days. I know, what's his name? I really can't think of his name. That music producer guy who does music YouTube stuff. But him and Anthony Fantano over at, Beato. And Anthony Fantano from Needle Drop. And quite a few, what's his name? Nick, I think, from, I can't think of his channel. A lot of the big music channels, they do, hey, top 40 on Spotify, let's see what's hot. And I don't. And part of it is, I don't know if it's something I would turn into a weekly thing like they do, but I am kind of curious what is popular these days. Oh, okay. Latin rap makes sense if he's Puerto Rican, so I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about top genres right now. Is this what the top 10 is nowadays? And then it's 10 minutes of Beato kind of enjoying himself. Yep, that's kind of why I watched 1 or 2 of those and quit, because it's always the clickbait, let's bring in the boomers who think I'm going to hate this music and then actually, go soft on it. So I don't know. The thing is I think Beato is a really cool guy. I would love to just sit down, talk with him about music with no cameras on. But I think when the camera comes on, he has this personality that he plays where he's the old guy who doesn't like the new stuff. And I can see the split sometimes in his videos where he's trying to balance out who he is and who he thinks he needs to be for his channel. And I kind of feel sorry for him. I don't know if that's what's really going on there, but it's kind of what you got to do on YouTube. Yeah, 100%. I mean, this channel is nowhere near as big as it could be, and some of that's probably because I'm just my authentic self. I don't go chasing the trends or trying to court an audience. I'm just myself, and YouTube doesn't like that in general. I could probably go out there and just say everything's great, or go for the hate route and just say everything sucks, and probably be a bigger channel maybe. Yeah, clickbait lessons. I'm terrible at it. You don't fully get that vibe, mostly because I know he loves 90s rock music, which would be young people noise for a man of his age. Okay. You're doing pretty good for being yourself, though. I think so too. Quality over quantity viewers. Yeah, I agree with that. One of the things I think that it keeps this community as positive and upbeat and open-minded as it is the fact that the people who actually decide to join the community tend to be more of a higher quality human. Oh, dang. You know what? I'm going to stick with it. More open-minded, I think, is higher quality. We're going to go with it. And it keeps the community, I think, from being that place that's just very hateful. And the thing is once you reach a certain point, critical composer slams woke artists. Once you get to a certain size, though, there's going to be bad actors who join in. And so it's a blessing and a curse, I think. Would I like to have 1 million viewers and, be able to retire off of YouTube in 5 years? Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. But I think building a community for me right now is more important than anything else. And this community is awesome, consistently. 5 years now. And even in Discord, I think we've had to ban a couple of trolls who came in, but that was really around a specific incident. I checked out a specific artist and we had a bunch of trolls come in. And that was the only time we've ever had to do any sort of admin work on the channel. So you're a quality human. But you totally are. All of you are. It's really nice to be in a place that I feel is open and accepting. And I think that's awesome. Yeah, that artist. I could remember the vocalist's name. I couldn't remember the band name. But even on like the comments, I get a couple of negative comments thrown at me, but very rarely do I have anybody in the comments fighting with other people. And I think that's another sign that we have a really strong community here. Been here since I wore beanies in videos. Oh, jeez. It's funny is I still have my beanies. And I still wear them, just not on the videos, because for good reason, I got called out for not being able to hear the music as well, especially on the Daredevil beanie because it was double-sided, it was a little thicker, it blocks the sound coming in. So I still like the beanie look, but I get it. It's not great for listening to music actively. The fact it was that band says it all. Yeah, 100%. We've had no issues before or after that band. So, yeah. With this attitude, I'll be pushing music eugenics. Ah, jeez. Actually talk to Rick. See, here's the thing. I'm kind of afraid it doesn't go the way I expect it to go. And I'm just sitting there either biding my time and waiting for the conversation to end, or it ends up being like a big disagreement. And that's not fun either. Not with someone I don't know. Maybe it would be enlightening though. I have thought about doing more, collabs, trying to talk with other musicians on YouTube and see what can be done. I know a lot of people wanted me to do interviews and like interview other bands and stuff. I don't know if that's necessarily something I have a knack for. I think I've said this before when I was in video game journalism. I did interviews with developers, and I hated every moment of it. Interviewing's just never really been something I've had fun with, I suppose. But I think talking with other YouTubers and figuring out what we can do other than interviews, maybe working with them musically would be pretty cool. I've been thinking more about that recently. Community doesn't know what beautiful means, though. Yeah, dude, what was up with that? 3 of last week's tracks were so anxious, anxiety-filled, and tense for me. That was the wildest roller coaster I think y'all have ever sent me on for a themed week. It was so far beyond what I was expecting. So that was fun. Walterowski, enthusiastic and knowledgeable person, album listening format mostly. Yeah, let me check that out. Walterowski. I'll look into that. I always want to find cool people on the ground level to kind of chat with too. I got to get back with Jeeves too. I haven't spoken to that guy in a while, and I had a blast last time we talked. So that dude's real knowledgeable too. Steal his 4 million subscribers. You think I'd be good at interviews? And see, the thing is too, is like maybe it's because I understand music more, I might enjoy it more. But I also find it really, like, I'd rather be on the other side. I don't mind being interviewed, but being the person who has to come up with the questions and guide the conversation, it's a lot of stress on me. And it's never felt right. As icicles fall, we did that already? When it comes to Neobliviscaris, yes. Oh, that was the first one we did. Oh, no, it wasn't. This was the third one we did. Of course, y'all hit me with Plague Flowers the Kaleidoscope first. It's funny looking at the views consistently drop. Plague has the most views of all of the Neobliviscaris ones. Painters of the... No, Forget Not. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. That one's my second highest. Icicles Fall only has 3,000 though. Painters of the Tempest, which we checked out after that, was much higher. So yeah, they're 3 popular ones, and then everything else just kind of levels out at a lower viewer count. That's why I don't look at view counts. It's stupid. Jeeves is cool, but similarly safe. I can kind of agree with that. He definitely does the YouTube thing rather well. But he's also quite knowledgeable, and he's great to talk with. I remember when he reached out to me to interview me the first time, we wanted to do like an audio test and just kind of go over some stuff. So we got into a video call, and we ended up talking for like an hour and a half or something. And at one point he was like, wait. All of this stuff is great, but we should have been recording it. This is what the interview should have been. And he's just so easy to talk to. He's a cool guy. But wasn't that roller coaster beautiful? Yeah, I suppose in a sense. It wasn't a beautiful music. Well, the thing was, is the music probably was beautiful in ways. It was just also very tense. Inky, glad to have you. Yeah, go ahead and add your request in. If we don't get to it today, because we still have 3 left, there's next week too. So the people know what they want. That's fair. Jeeves praises everything. Yeah. And I think to a point, if you want to make it big in this area of YouTube, you kind of have to. You either have to go into the hate direction or the love direction. It has to be overwhelmingly in a like, the needle has to be at either end of the spectrum. I think if you're going to play it down the middle, you're just not going to catch as many people. I think that's just the nature of YouTube. It's for extremities. And it wasn't always this way, but it's certainly where it is now. It's ultra divided. People do love their extremes. That they do. But see, the other thing, I wonder how much of it isn't necessarily my opinions and more so the length or the format. Because I do see that only like 3% of viewers get past the reaction into the analysis segment. So it seems most people are just watching the reaction and then ducking out, which, yeah, that's fair. I guess. I mean, you come to a reaction video, the reaction's over. Okay. The polarized viewpoint of the market is saturated, and if you keep faith, it will swing your way. Authenticity always wins. I hope so. The thing that I can bet on right now is that my growth has been consistent for 5 years. No fluctuations. Well, other than the fact we started out really strong, but I attribute that to me kicking it off during the pandemic, and a lot of people were quarantining at home. But ever since 2021-ish, maybe the end of 2020, my YouTube growth has been consistent month after month for 5 years straight. So I'm doing something right, and I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing. I think a lot of people are scared of length. They are. And, part of it is also not just the length, but the consistency. If I put out a 45-minute reaction once a week, I think that'd be fine. Then people see a 45-minute reaction 10 times a week, and then a 3-hour reaction on Saturdays. And they're like, geez, I don't know if I want to stick around for this. That's a lot of dedication. That's why so many reaction YouTubers do videos where it's just the song, but they manage to lengthen their videos by pausing in the middle. See, I originally thought that was just for DMCA bot avoidance, that if the song played for too long, then you would get flagged. And I think that's where it started, because not everybody interjects analysis. They just kind of pause it and say, oh, dude, that was awesome. Let me rewind it for a second. It's like, you could have just said that. You didn't need to pause it to say that. Mark. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Wow. There's a lady doing hate pretty well, but doesn't get the viewers. I'm kind of curious. When I was looking at reaction stuff a few years back, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the channel once I started to grow, and I was like, oh, where do I take this? How do I expand the channel? I found somebody who basically said their channel name is like "Find Music I Like" or something like that. And every song they listen to and they say, "Oh, that sucks. Maybe I can find something better next time." And that concept kind of intrigued me. I kind of wondered where I hadn't thought about it forever, but I wonder where she's at now, if that ever worked for her or not. There's a lot of people who I think might just listen to music that way, and it scares me, honest. Pausing is a rewinding. Yeah, pausing is annoying. Rewinding's a nope. That is exactly why I don't do it. I don't want to listen to it that way. I don't think that's a good way to listen to it for a first time. And it's like, I don't know, if you pause a film every 5 minutes, you're going to lose the tension. You're going to lose the pacing. The same things with music. And, for something like a vocal analysis, yeah, I think that works. But if you ask me to analyze a song and I'm not catching the emotional flow of it because I'm pausing it every 5 seconds, I'm not going to be able to analyze it very well. That's kind of where I stand on that. Slamming anti-woke YouTubers for being woke. Dude, I would laugh so hard. Hate for hate's sake isn't constructive. I agree. All right. I'm going to try to get this back on track. We got some MARETU, Magical Doctor here. Is this riff woke? Dude, if you made that, I would watch every video. I don't know if I'd watch the video. I would definitely like and subscribe and comment though. And I'd look at the comments. I think that would be the most interesting part. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, for vocal analysis, I think it makes sense because you listen to the vocals and you're always talking about technique of the vocals, not necessarily like longer ideas or how the vocals evolved over a song. It's really about the moment-to-moment work that the vocalist is putting in. So for something like that, I think it makes a lot of sense. Same thing for was it Music Hut? No, that's not it. Who's the guy who does he has the piano and he pauses the song and he'll play back some parts and he'll play like chords through it to kind of show stuff. I think that works really well too. So, is it Doug? Doug? I don't think so. Oh, it's not Music Hut, that's for sure. None of this is checked. I can't remember that channel name. Music Shed. That might be it.
The name of the song.
Yes, that's the right guy right there. Yeah. I think the way that he pauses and showcases stuff works really well too, because he's not exploring the larger ideas of the song. He's showing individual techniques and ideas. And so I think there's definitely use cases for it. And the guy, I mean, it also helps. He's just so freaking talented. His ability to just ear out something and play it, wonderful. All right. MARETU, Magical Doctor. Do we have context on this? From Gakyu, no context at all. Let's dive into this. What in the world? Must have been an air pressure difference. My door just creaked, but there's no one there. All right, let's dive into this, see what they're bringing to the table. This is another music video? How about a video of shorter reactions, if that helps you do new bands too? Okay. Oh, okay. It's so funny how one sound can completely change it up. Dude, this just hyper repetition though is draining. And it keeps going. think these breaks what? You just can't anticipate anything about where this song's going. I do like this section though. Nice melody, nice groove, good contrast. Well, surprising. That's a good term for this. I mean, here's the thing. If I was in a club, this might have went really hard. But I'm not. And just listening to that one tone over and over and over and over really wore on me. Yeah, not really for listening. It has some nice breaks in it, and if you're not really paying attention to it as much, maybe it's background, maybe you're dancing to it, maybe you're whatever. You're just not paying a lot of attention to it. Those breaks are going to help it not feel as static, and you won't feel the rigidity and repetition as much either. It's going to feel a lot more dynamic. It does have some interesting breaks to it, and we had that penultimate section, which, where did that come from? We had the noise of the beginning of the song, which was wild. Another great choice for beautiful music. Yeah, I'm just... Lots of cool... here's what I'll say about it. It is Vocaloid, probably. I think the Vocaloid is used in the same way I typically hear it, which is more textural and rhythmic than anything else. There's a little bit of pitch shifting here. So, I mean, that's fine. The breakcore transitions were interesting. Yeah. The samples used, the sounds, those were kind of nice. Lots of texture and timbre diversity in the percussive area. But holy jeez, this song is just like the same thing over and over. And I almost feel like it's designed to get on your nerves, or at least that's what it feels like for me. And then every once in a while, though, it'll be like, actually, let me back off a little bit. You seem rather tense. You're calm now? Gets right back into it. I guess you could play it if you want to clear out the party at 3. Something tells me this would just make the party pop off at 3. Somewhat happy hardcore. I could kind of see that. Dude, such a soft, clean intro into like noise punk, into whatever this EDM is. That was a wild 40 seconds right there. And I give them tons of props for whatever had them deciding that that's how they wanted to kick the song off. I don't know if this is not my cup of tea, though. I don't know if I'd want to ever listen to this again. Yeah. Like I said, maybe a club, it might be okay. Oh, happy hardcore is a real genre? Oh, I was just thinking of like hardcore music, but happier. I mean, maybe that's all it is too, but I was not expecting it to be a real thing. All right, we have some Vampire Weekend here with the song Connect. The opening is only for laughs. I don't know if I'd go with that, but yeah, I think more often than not, that's what you're going to get out of it. I don't know if I'd ever want to listen to this again as code for Give Me More. Not 15 minutes ago, we were talking about how I'm a straight shooter and I just say things as I think them, and it's usually how I feel, very authentic self. And like every week, all I get is, I think what he really meant when he said this was this other thing. And I think it's my favorite running joke that I always mean the opposite of what I say. I give them a lot of shading. No, like on the production side, though, it sounds really good. That's the thing, too. Like, it's done with a lot of skill. It's just compositionally, what were you going for? I have polite manners. I try. I try to be polite about stuff without, just being super positive. Ooh, Witch Doctor, Mystery Doctor, Vampire Weekend. That is a fun little combination of songs back to back. I mean, this is a band, but whatever. Comments on this. Vale, here's a break from the usual noisiness I assault your ears with. I appreciate it. Let's dive into this. See what Vampire Weekend's bringing to the table. This is also a music video. Yeah, dude, that shock switch up was wild. I mean, I was on the receiving end of that, and I still thought it was fun.
The memories don't fade.
Oh, I didn't know Vampire Weekend was still around. So that's kind of cool.
Before you lost your spark, took acid in the park, or living in a basement. Now is it strange I can't connect? It isn't strange, but I could check. Walked around to where we kept the box of wows. Lately I know once it's lost, it's never found. I need it now.
Golly, dude.
The greed is buried in the ground. Hold it down.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of these more esoteric choices. But I'm digging the bass, the drums, this vocal melody.
The things we used to see, the sandhogs in the street, the chickens in her bedroom. Now is it strange I can't connect? It isn't strange.
This choir patch sounds nice too. I like the progression of it. It adds texture to the song. But then this kicks in.
It's lost, it's never found. I need it now. The grid is buried in the ground.
Yeah, dude, that's such a...
Hold it down.
Slightly out of tune jazz. And a dash of classical in there. And then the glitch for the repeat. Wait, are they getting shorter?
A country house in June. What's happening too soon? Your book of Revelation.
Attitude jazz is not a real genre.
We used to chat instead. Called it a vacation.
I'm really torn on this. The novelty factor is through the roof. But I don't know that I enjoy a lot of what's going on. And there is an attempt to bring back ideas, so it isn't just a flurry of new concepts. Yeah, I think those final thoughts are kind of where I'm at on this. I really like the stereotypical verse section, the bass, the vocals, eventually the light drumming, and the choir patch that comes in. All of that works really well, and then it gets esoteric. And the trip that you're taking on is interesting. There's lots of neat ideas in here. There's influences from all over the place. There's poppier elements. There's jazzier elements, classical elements. It's a little bit of a lot of things. There's some cool instrumentation. There's some detuning going on in here too. It's eclectic in a lot of ways. I look confused and then feel torn about it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the novelty factor is phenomenal. You never really know what's around the corner, and it's not just noise or chaos either. There is harmonic and melodic and rhythmic focus to it. You can hear how the song is flowing through all of this. But I don't know that I enjoy most of the sounds being presented, and it feels like I should. It's usually just a production or an intonation thing that it's kind of not working for me, where like what's on paper is solid, but then how it's presented to me is a little obtuse in a way that rubs me the wrong way. And so it creates something that I kind of enjoyed for the one time through, but I wonder if I'd enjoy it after multiple listens, where the novelty wears off and I'm just left with a song that I understand where it's going and how we're getting there, and the sounds still might not click for me. I don't know. Can understand the production getting in the way. Yeah, it's what it is. But I do like the melodic writing on this. I like the harmonic writing on this, even outside of the traditional verse and chorus section, or pre-chorus maybe. I don't know how I would define that. But even the more esoteric sections have really great melodic writing to them. The harmonies, excluding the intonation stuff, are cool. For pop music, you just don't hear this kind of stuff present. It's just paired with a very interesting delivery. And that's something that I don't know if I'd have to Stockholm myself into liking it or just kind of look past. I don't know. But what's interesting too is this is not what I was expecting. I thought Vampire Weekend was pretty straightforward pop rock adjacent, and this was pop prog. This was art pop, and that's pretty cool too. Have they changed over the years? Because I haven't listened to Vampire Weekend since the 2010s, maybe. So maybe they've just done a lot of evolving over the years too. But this was not what I thought I was getting in store for it. They've progressively gotten more artsy. Okay, that makes sense. All right, we have some Elden Ring soundtrack ahead of us here. This one, Shoi Miyazawa is the artist. The title is Libra. creature of the night. You could just decide to start liking it because I say so. Dude, if only that worked. There's been a lot of really cool music, especially in the more extreme metal areas, where I'm like, compositionally, sold on it. But the aggressiveness, the abrasiveness is too much. And I wish I could just say, you know what? I like this. And then just enjoy it. If only it worked like that. Their first few albums are more straightforward, with twinges of the current sound. That might have been what I heard then. A lot of earlier stuff then was a bit more straightforward. It's interesting to hear, though, how they might have went from that, or how they did go from that to this more progressive stuff. Yeah, developing, evolving, maturing their songwriting. All right. This is probably going to wrap it up for today then. Inky, you can still get your request in to me on wherever you want to do that. You know, Patreon or Discord or whatever. We'll kick off next week's theme with yours, or next week's stream with yours. Been listening to this track a lot for the past 2 weeks, not necessarily voluntary. It took me a second. I was like, what, have people just been playing it for you? No, you've been stuck on the boss. I get it. I've been there. Let's see, the comment for this one comes from Arkonji. This is a soundtrack that plays when fighting Libra in Elden Ring Night Rain. This boss is heavily madness themed and very based on medieval and modern depictions of, bear with me for a second, dramatic effects. Baphomet. So much so, it's allegedly its internal name. And madness bosses tend to have some mad soundtracks. Hope you enjoy, even if it's meant to evoke insanity. Fantastic. That's the type of music I love. Let's lose our minds as we wrap up this stream with some Elden Ring soundtrack. That very tense choir. The rhythmic element's a bit disjointed too. A couple of different rhythmic devices going on. Is that a random sax in the middle of this soundtrack music? Cool use of spatialness there. Okay. Those swells. Circus face. Dude, the scratching sound over there? I don't even know what instrument that is. the very light, slightly dissonant bell work is so good for this vibe. Oh, the accelerando? No? Yes? Are we speeding up? That sax coming back in. It's not that they're slightly out of tune. What is up with those bells? They're muted, but they also... Today's music's not what you like to hear in a doctor's office. Was there backmasking in there? On the choir? Dude, I want to learn that bell part. There was definitely a point in there, and all I could think was, it's still going? That's exceptionally long, I think, for a boss track. It's filled with so many different ideas that all feed into that same concept of madness and insanity. I feel like this would trip you up while fighting a tough boss. It is layered, it's dense. What I really like about it is that it does call upon some tropes for madness in music, particularly with the strings and quickly moving dissonant string riffs or licks or ostinatos. There we go. Let's stick with classical terminology for this. But they don't fall into all of the trappings that you normally hear. And I think that's impressive that over like 3 core themes in there, 3 core sections. We hear so many different unique varieties on this that definitely showcase more of a less stable side of music with odd rhythmic timings, with wild intonation and harmonic devices, with just sound and noise. That saxophone continuing to show up and just blasting that one note despite everything else being more nuanced. I mean, that works. That's not something I necessarily could say I've heard in a Madness theme, but fits so perfectly here. And to use it not just in that opening section, but to bring it back later on in the track, not alongside the same idea on the horns and strings, but in a new section, but just, you know, let's write some new music. Hey, what's missing? Oh yeah, that sax part from earlier. Like, that's such a brilliant idea there. You're going to pick another one for next week that'll be very much the opposite of this? Okay, that'll be interesting. I assume you mean next month, but yeah, I get it. The whole five Sundays in a month thing throws me off sometimes too, so part of the difficulty is the music keeps stealing your attention. Yeah, and see, this is interesting too, because I think with this song being as interesting and diverse as it is, it'd be easy to lock into it during the game. But I also think it's a bit long and fatiguing to just have the attention on. Like I had mentioned, there was a part in there I was like, wow, you know, the song's still going. And I don't know. I think it's too moving for the game and doesn't have enough in it for some reason. I don't know. Something about it's just very overbearing for an isolated listen too. But I really enjoy a lot of what's going on in this one, and like I said, it's the variety of techniques. It's not just, you know, leaning on dissonance and saying, oh, this is Madness because of that. Not to say that's poor. I mean, one of my favorite Madness themes was written by Stephen Sondheim, and a lot of it is just really tense dissonant dyads from the string section, and it's beautiful. It works really well for that. But this one decides to go the extra mile and just explore sound and rhythm and harmony and even melody, instrumentation, tone, and texture. Like I said, these bells being used for Madness themes is pretty common, but there's something about them. They're definitely palm muted, but there's also something off about it. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't sound like a normal glockenspiel, though. It sounds dull. I think that's the word that works best for it. It doesn't have the brightness that I typically associate with the instrumentation. It's not just muted, but it has a weird hollow ring to it too. And that adds so much character to the song just from timbre alone. So the evil glockenspiel, it really is. I would love to know what they specifically did to this one to achieve that sound, because it is not what it's not a sound I would ever use where the glockenspiel typically gets used, which is for bright or twinkly or anything higher energy, sharp sounds. Like, this is dull and muted and kind of hollow. And it's like, how did you get this out of this instrument? It doesn't, how? It just is wild. I don't know. It'd be like a clarinet or a flute that had that blasting sound that you can get out of brass. Like, these instruments aren't supposed to sound like this. How did you do it? A microtonal glockenspiel, that would be interesting too. Because then you would have the texture side of things, but also the harmonic side. And if you made it your own, you'd also be able to create each of the bells themselves too, and get the exact timbre. Yeah, maybe that's what they did. They just made their own. I wouldn't put it past anybody who's trying to make interesting music like this to think outside their realms a little bit. Can't you just cut the bars slightly? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that's how you would make it microtonal. But at that point, well, see that too. I was going to say at that point you're changing the timbre of it too, but that's the point of it. So, yeah, you just shave down some of the edges. That's just faulty glockenspiel. Ah, jeez. All right. We're going to wrap this one up here. Like I mentioned, Inky, if you're still in, oh, you are. You just mentioned something. We'll check out yours starting off next Sunday. I don't know what we're going to do for the rest of next Sunday, though. I had mentioned finding a bunch of stuff to check out that's just kind of weird, new genre stuff, very novel. But I'm kind of curious too if maybe I shouldn't just check out a bunch of video game music. It is Twitch after all. This is a video game streaming service. I wonder if I would pull in some extra people from this platform. I don't know. That was just something that was going over my head. Spiel means play. What does Glocken mean? Well, in American, uh, there is definitely some amazing video game music, and I really enjoyed when we checked out Video Game Week last year. And we actually had a nice spread in that too. We had some older stuff. We checked out Donkey Kong Country and Spyro, but I think we checked out some newer stuff too. So, yeah, y'all are following along with my term there. Yeah, to play with a gun, Glockenspiel. To play with my, yeah, exactly. Y'all are getting it. I'm glad that didn't go over y'all's heads. Uh, but yeah, I'll think of something, and I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, I'll put out a call on Discord, and actually, yeah, so it'll be tomorrow when all the polls go up for tomorrow. There'll be an extra one for suggestions for what to listen to next week. I'll have a theme, and maybe it'll be video games, maybe it'll be new stuff, whatever. And y'all can give me suggestions, and I'll randomly roll for 9 or 10 of them for next week's theme. Why not a musical theme? I know this is controversial, but I just want to listen to music next week. Can y'all give me some stuff to listen to? That was a good subtle joke. I appreciate the praise. I'll be a good troll someday. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. My trolling days are behind me, I hope. What about a non-music theme? Do y'all want me to like react to Buffy or something? TV show reactions? What would even happen? You believe in my trolling skills? Dude, when I was a teen, I mean, I've told y'all this before. There's definitely a different path that I could have taken where I'd be a very different person than I am today. I used to troll online all the time, though. Just say the stupidest stuff for reaction. So I still have that quick wit, sharp tongue. Well, I don't think it's as sharp anymore. But sarcasm, I'm a millennial too, so I'm this is me. I just kind of tone it down a little bit because I feel like it should be a little more serious on the channel, more or less. The anti-music stream. Let's react to paintings. Ooh, I'd be there for yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Musical common factors. What would a musical common factor be? Painting sounds neat though. Oh, react to old reactions. Abstract art, I think you would not enjoy my take on. It's going to be like avant-garde music where I either have something incredibly profound to say about it or I'm just totally lost. You're either going to get an essay or nothing out of me when it comes to abstract art. And more often than not, I'm not going to give myself credit here. It's usually going to be, I didn't get that. So, yeah, that might not be great. The music game stream, Jackson Pollock stream. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go very well either. Anything within 5 minutes of length? Just like a lightning round? We'll get through like 30 or 40 things. Just listen to it, say something quick, move on. Anything linking songs musically. Oh, that would be interesting. Like we listen to something and the next request must be adjacent to that somehow. Genre, instrument, context. That would be interesting to see where that takes us. Yeah, maybe stream Cruelty Squad one day, huh? Yeah, no. Y'all come by the gaming streams just to watch me in pain, to watch me writhe in emotional torment. Stream Baby Shark variations. 5-minute listening, 5-minute reaction next with a timer on stream. 10 minutes each, 2-hour stream. That's only 12 songs. That's what we normally get through. I think that's what we do anyways. Minus, me saying something, a minute less about a song or a song only being like 3 minutes and that affording me a little bit of time to ramble sometimes. Ooh, one original, 11 covers. I want to do that for a regular theme, honestly. But the thing is, finding 9 good covers, like worth talking about covers, not one-to-one covers. Reaction while listening. No comments afterwards, just 5-minute song, move on, say what I need to say during it. I wonder how long I could keep that up. I think that'd be a bit fatiguing. Yeah, I remember that. Wait, do I remember that? No, we've never done Paint It Black before, unless it was on stream. The comments are the analysis. Yeah, just get it done. Just do it while it's happening. Move on quick. All right, 15 after the hour, though. We're going to wrap this up. Like I said, tomorrow, alongside the song and theme polls, there will be a poll for, not a poll, but a request place for next week's live stream. We're going to kick it off with Inky's and then Inky's request, and then move on to whatever comes after that, based off of the random selection of the selections tomorrow. A real-time live stream. Yeah, we've never done that before. What else is happening? Early access. It'll be up. I don't know if it'll be up by 5 p.m. tonight. If it isn't, if you're checking Patreon and at 5 p.m. the early access link isn't updated yet, I will send out a notification when it is updated. Tomorrow we kick off the Pride Week reactions, and that's it. I think that's all I need to announce so far. Wednesday and Friday, as usual, we'll have the game streams. We'll continue on with Nier Automata at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything else, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for reactions. And that's about it. So, until next time, y'all have a fantastic day. Be critical, not cynical. Enjoy the music and all the art you watch and listen to and read. And as usual, I'll catch y'all later.